Chapter 94. The Tyrant's Last Struggle. Jingjia captured Do Rong with his magic weapon, and Jiang Wenhuan quickly slashed him in two. Do had been commander of the pass for 20 years. He'd fought several hundred battles without ever losing, but he'd finally met his match. When he saw what had happened below, Mujia stealthily threw his hooks of Wu into the air and said, "Turn over, dear precious." The sword whirled about 3 times and then cut off Madame Do's head. Mujia then shouted from the city wall, "I'm General Mujia. By order of Jiang Ziya, I have come to take over this pass. As you have already lost your commander and his wife, you may live if you surrender now. Resistance only means death." All knelt down to surrender. When he realized his brother had taken the pass, Jingjia accompanied Jiang Wenhuan to the pass wall. Mujia ordered the guards to open the gate, and Jiang Wenhuan sent his men to restore peace among the people, check the treasure houses, and set Ma Jiao free. He expressed his deepest gratitude to Jingjia and Mujia. "Dear Duke, we'll leave you now to return to Commander Jiang. You must leave immediately for Mengjin. Do not delay." Jingjia urged him. Jiang Wenhuan thanked them again, and the two brothers left on a burst cloud. At Mengjin, Jiang Ziya was in a conference with the 2 Grand Dukes. The nobles are all to meet on the 9th day of the 3rd month. The day is fast upon us, but the East Grand Duke has not yet arrived. What shall we do? He asked them. Just then it was reported that Jingjia and Mujia had returned. After they had greeted Jiang Ziya, they related all that had happened at Yoheng Pass. "The East Grand Duke asked us to return first and tell you he will be here in a few days," they added. Jiang Ziya was greatly delighted. It must be heaven's will that the assembly can be held on the date fixed. The East Grand Duke arrived several days later with 200 nobles from the east. He went first to pay his respects to Jiang Ziya, and then asked to see King Wu. Jiang Ziya accompanied him to the back camp. When all 800 nobles and the numerous petty lords had gathered, their army was 1,600,000 strong. After the flag-worshipping ceremony, Jiang Ziya, King Wu, and the dukes led their armies out of Mengjin and marched towards Jiaoge. Court officials immediately reported the serious situation to King Zhou, who climbed the city wall to take a look for himself. What he saw greatly frightened him, for the massive army camped below stretched out as far as the eye could see. He returned to the palace and held an urgent conference with the remaining ministers. "We are surrounded by the enemy forces. Have you, dear ministers, any good plan to repulse this huge army?" Lu Rinji stepped from his line, knelt down, and said, "Just as the proverb says, a log cannot support a big building that's about to collapse. Our treasure houses are all empty, the people are dissatisfied, and our soldiers are discouraged. The people are not with us. We cannot win. We should send an envoy to persuade them to stop the war and withdraw. This crisis may then come to a peaceful solution." King Zhou thought his proposal silently. Fei Lian walked up and knelt down. "It's said that brave heroes will appear when great rewards are offered. I beg your majesty to issue proclamations inviting those talented heroes to step forward now. You may promise to appoint them ministers if they succeed. We still have about 100,000 soldiers in the city and food enough to keep us going. We can also let General Lu Rinji take up the fight to defend the city. How can we beg for mercy from our enemy without a single battle?" "You're right." King Zhou agreed and ordered his men to issue the proclamations at once. Just outside Jiaoge, there lived a talented hermit named Ding Se. When he heard that the Zhou army had surrounded the city, he sighed and said, "The kingdom cannot last long when all the nobles have turned against it. Where are all the ministers who have received grace from the Ping? Why aren't they standing by His Majesty's side now? I was taught by a talented scholar in my youth, and have often hoped for a chance to demonstrate my ability, but a single log cannot support the building alone." Just then someone knocked at his door. It was Guo Chen, one of his sworn brothers. "I would like to consult with you, brother," Guo Chen said. "What about? Tell me, please." "His Majesty is looking for heroes to fight the enemy. I suggest we answer his call together. You are well cultured in politics and economics. You understand war strategy and military operations. If you accept this post, you may glorify your family with wealth and high rank. You may use all that you have learned." Guo Chen explained in detail. Ding Ce just smiled and said, "Though what you say is true, King Zhou has lost the people's hearts. We can do nothing about that. What do you think we really are? How can we save a cartload of burning firewood with a cup of water?" Jiang Ziya is well known as a learned scholar from Mount Kunlun with numerous disciples. We are certainly no match for him. You're wrong, brother. We should live and die with the nation, and now is the right time to dedicate ourselves, even if it means our lives. We are heroes. Our hot blood should rinse the earth at the right time and the right place. What are we waiting for? We must go to free His Majesty of his worries at once. Guo Chen argued. "Dear brother, this is a serious problem that must be considered carefully," Ding Ce said. Just then a tall, smart-looking fellow came in. It was Dong Zhong, another sworn brother of theirs. "Where do you come from, brother?" both Ding Ce and Guo Chen asked. "I've come to invite both of you to help King Zhou repulse the Zhou army. I was in the city yesterday and read the official proclamation posted on the city gate. I was so moved that I called on Fei Lian and offered our services. Fei Lian reported this to the king at once, and we are ordered to see His Majesty tomorrow. I've come to tell you. As the ancient proverb says, sell your civil and military talents to the ruler when you have mastered them all. We cannot sit by quietly when either our father or Tian Ping is in trouble." Dong Zhong told them. "Why didn't you consult with me first?" Ding Ce reprimanded him. "Because I'm sure that you are loyal and willing to serve the nation. You are not the type to sit under a tree waiting for the hare, so I dared to act without asking you," Dong Zhong answered. Guo Chen burst out laughing and said, "You're perfectly right, brother. I came to exhort Brother Ding, but you've already signed us up." Ding Ce could do nothing. He had to lay the table and offer them dishes and wine. They drank throughout the night and entered the city early the next morning. When they had been admitted by King Zhou, Ding Te and his two brothers knelt down and kowtowed. "Fei Lian recommended you three yesterday. We trust you have a good plan to repulse the Zhou army," King Zhou said. The ancient saint emperors often had to resort to war against their will. The Zhou army lies right outside our door, and the kingdom is balanced precariously like a pile of eggs that may fall and break at any moment. Though we are well educated in the philosophy of war, we can only do our best to return your grace with our loyalty. May your officials supply us with all the materials and equipment we call for." Ding Ce said with a low bow. Delighted at his answer, King Zhou appointed Ding Ce the great general of strategy and Guo Chen and Dong Zhong the great generals of power and grandeur. He bestowed on them silk robes and jade belts and entertained them in style. The three new generals thanked King Zhou and went to see General Lu Rinji early the next morning. They then led their army out of Zhaoge and set up camp outside the city wall. Jiang Ziya moved first to challenge for a combat. Lu Rinji led his generals to the camp gate, where they saw Jiang on a strange beast, attended by his disciples on both sides. Lu Rinji galloped ahead and roared. "How do you do, Jiang Ziya?" Jiang bowed courteously on his nondescript horse and asked, "Who is that coming, please?" "I'm Lu Rinji, chief commander under His Majesty." "Jiang Ziya, you are from Mount Kunlun. How can you break the law by joining the dukes in their attack against the capital? What will you do next? His Majesty would like to forgive you all and allow you to withdraw so the people may live in peace. If you wish to offer him tribute, he will follow through with the rites accordingly, but if you insist on being stubborn, His Majesty will lead a great army against you, and smash your nest." Lu Rinji replied. Jiang Ziya burst into laughter. "Why do you still wish to act against heaven? We have all the dukes with us now. You have only this small city. How long can you last?" Lu Rinji roared furiously. "You bastard! I regarded you as a gentleman. I never imagined you could speak so basely. You'll be cursed forever for your attempt to attack the king." He then looked at his men. "Who will take that rebel for me?" A general behind him shouted loudly. "Here I come, Commander." Guo Chen set his horse forward and was met by Nengong Kuo. The two fought violently. Ding Tao rushed in to join the combat and was met by Wu Ji. After 20 rounds, A Shun, the South Grand Duke, galloped in to take on Dong Zhong. Soon, Jiang Wenhuan, annoyed by the scene, spurred his purple steed in and slashed Dong Zhong to death. Standing beside Jiang Ziya, Ne Jia roared. "I haven't achieved any great merit since the 5 passes. How can I look on so passively?" Ne Jia rushed forward and was followed by Yang Jian. They met Ding Su, Guo Chen, and Lu Rinji in a desperate battle. Drums were beaten loudly to encourage the generals. Ne Jia cast up his universal ring and smashed Ding Tu to death. Yang Jian slashed Guo Chen from his horse just as Guo was about to run away. Lu Rinji was forced to flee back to camp, and Jiang Ziya ordered his army to return. When he heard that they had lost all 3 generals, King Zhou was greatly worried. He discussed the situation with his ministers and asked for their suggestions. Ying Pobai stepped up.